Hey, it's Bruce again. We are just coming live for the second part of today's Bruce Empowerment Hour. And I've decided, instead of talking about my political stuff, if you want to know how I feel politically, all you have to do is go to my Facebook page. And that is under my personal name, not the Thirst for Joy page. It is my personal page, and that is under Bruce Bergbacher. And that is Bruce, B-R-U-C-E, Bergbacher, B-U-R-G-B-A-C-H-E-R. And I did talk a little bit in the last part about if you want to send me songs or any suggestions, but I'm not certain I remember to give you my phone number. So the phone number here at thirstforjoy.com is 630-881-0762. Again, the number is 630-881-0762. And as I always say, text me anything you want to tell me, any songs you would suggest. And to be honest, I don't play everything that people send me, but I do play a good, probably the vast majority of it, really. And it needs to be upbeat to really get my attention. I do play some slow music, but not a lot. It's got to be upbeat and encouraging. Does not necessarily need to be Christian. But instead of going into my political talking points, like I talk a lot about politics, I want to stay with what it takes to be considered a good person. And I'm going to go ahead and talk about the next article. And this one is titled, How to Be a Good Person. Yes, that's today's subject. So number one, determine what a good person means to you personally. I'm going to say number one again before I get into it. Determine what being a good person means to you personally. Some people think that being a good person is as simple as not doing harm to another. But it is not always what that you don't do, but it's what you do for others. Being a good person also includes helping yourself as much as others. You have to decide what you believe by being a good person really is. What is your ideal person? Make a list of traits that you believe make up a good ideal person. Start living your life according to these traits. Next, are you waiting for something in return? Are you doing things because it will help you look good, or are you doing things because you truly want to give and help? Stop putting up airs and adopt the attitude of giving without expectation and receiving anything in return. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and tell you what Tony Robbins says about relationships, because I think it's very applicable to this point. And he says a relationship is a place you go to give, not to get. If you're there to give, if you're there to get, it's not really a relationship, it's a transaction. Yeah, think about that. So, moving on. Being good does not mean only by outer goodness. You have to consider being good straight from the heart. Ultimately, you have to decide on your own code of ethics. And what matters is you follow through with what you believe. And I always say, a man is only as good as his word. I totally believe that. And, well, I could walk down some bunny trails, but I'm not going to. Through what you believe makes you a good person, at times may conflict with what others believe is good, and might even accuse you of being wrong or evil. Consider their views. Either they know something you don't, which cause you may learn something new from them and update your morality. And the bigger point here is to be teachable. Don't be just stuck in your ways. But anyway, from them and update your morality. Perhaps the performance is limited, meaning that you should take their views with a grain of salt. And some people you have to love from a distance. I'm not saying just accept everything somebody says wholeheartedly. Not at all. Not even close. I'm sure you've probably heard the saying, hurt people hurt people. And like I say, some people you have to love from a distance. So I'm not saying everything that somebody says about you or to you to take heart. I'm saying weed out and use discernment. Number 2, choose a role model. Having a role model provides you with an example of someone who to correspond to. This person should have traits that you want to attain. Think of ways that you can better embody the qualities you admire. Think of how to apply these qualities in your work, creative pursuits, personal relationships, diet, and lifestyle. Next point. Do you look up? Let me start over. Do you look up, and why? I do look up to heaven. Are they looking forwards, better place to live in? How can you do the same? And I think that's talking about, well, I'm not going to get down that road because that's not the point I want to get into. What qualities do you admire in them, and how can you develop the same ones? Next one. Keep your role models close to you, like a friendly spirit that is always at your side. Think of how, I was just looking at my numbers, sorry, I got distracted. Well, my meters, actually, I just want to make sure you're hearing me. Think of how they would respond to a question or circumstance and how you should respond in the same manner. Next point, number 3, stop comparing yourself to others. I'm going to say that again because I think that's big. Stop comparing yourself to others. Try to understand that some have it better than you, but may have it much worse. When we make ourselves miserable by comparing ourselves with others, yes, we totally can. I totally agree with that. We are wasting time and energy in what we could use in building our own inner resources. Compliment yourself every morning. Yes, compliment yourself every morning. Being happy makes you a more positive person. Amen. Which helps you put these positive vibes out into the world. I love that. I'm going to compliment myself every morning. Hey, you're a great guy. You have your own unique gifts and talents. Focus on sharing them with the world instead of focusing on the gifts of others. And I'm going to go ahead and say this. There's literally no doubt in my mind that every single one of us has a gift, a God-given gift. There's literally no doubt in my mind. In fact, I'm going to talk about my friend Jim. He's one of my best friends, and I'm not certain what the politically correct term is for the mentally challenged. He has probably a fourth grader's education. He's now into his 60s. And even he does something better than anybody else I've ever met, and that is to shave. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you a short story about that. Jim has been my best friend for probably more than 30 years, probably close to 40 years. And years ago, when we were younger, I lived in Florida at the time, and we would go and do volunteer work at Give Kids the World in Orlando or Kissimmee, Florida. Basically making a weekend out of it. We would stay in a hotel and all that. So actually staying in the hotel, I realized we were talking. He's like, well, I didn't like the way I shaved, so I shaved again. I was like, what? There was times he was so obsessed with shaving properly, he would shave up to 5 times just to make sure he got it all. Well, what I did with that information was I don't shave 5 times if I got a problem. But I do now, because of Jim, I do a very thorough job of checking when I finish shaving. Did I miss anything? I'll literally rub my hands everywhere in my face to see if there's some place that needs a little bit more. So because of Jim and because of my willingness to learn from Jim, somebody, like I say, has no more than a 4th grade education, great guy, totally great guy. But because I was willing to be teachable, I learned from him to become a better shaver. There's literally something you can learn from anybody and everybody, but need to move on. Number 4, and this is really important, love yourself. Learn to love yourself in every way. Practice unconditional self-acceptance. I so agree with that. In fact, it's so important that I'm going to go ahead and read it again. Love yourself. Learn to love yourself in every way. Practice unconditional acceptance. The only way you can truly love others is to first have confidence, that's big, confidence, and love yourself. What you do and what you believe must make you feel good as well as others. If you try to do things for others without taking care of yourself, you can end up resentful, angry, and negative. And trust me, they will see it. If you love yourself, you will make a positive impact when you help others. I so agree with that. Are you superficially acting like a good person? If you are self-loathing and angry on the inside, you may not be a good person, despite all your outward actions. Amen. First, you have to love yourself. I so agree with that. And just to mention this, I think I mentioned it yesterday, it really starts a lot of loving yourself, I believe, starts with forgiving yourself for literally everything and anything. A lot of us have been through a lot of things. Everybody that's a little bit older like me has a past that we need to forgive ourselves. And that's one of the things I love about Christianity is the forgiveness aspect of it. So, moving on to the next point. Be yourself. Remember to be yourself always and never someone who you're not. People know when you're a phony. Don't try to be like someone else. Just be yourself and do something as simple as you can. Being yourself helps you be a genuine person who can reflect positively into the world. Stay true to yourself. Help you find focus and understand your core values and what you find important. Next point. Be good for its own sake. Don't try to be a good person because your parents told you so, but because you want to recognize and respect or for any kind of reward except your own satisfaction. It's doing what you believe is good. Never act superior to anyone. I'm going to say that again because I so believe it. Never act superior to anyone because you're not. Or righteousness or goodness. For dedication or particular creed, ideology, or get set of guidelines not to make you better than anyone else. Do what you believe makes you a good person on your own terms, and remember that it's an individual journey. Everyone's path is unique. Do good by health and blush. Well, I think I'm getting lost, but anyway, health is an important aspect to feeling good. And I'm not going to talk about health points today, but it is something I've talked about previously, and I will talk about it again. Being healthy is totally critical to your well-being and making you happy, because obviously if you don't feel good, you're not going to act good, happy. Pray and meditate. I'm going to say that again because I realize that not everybody is a Christian like me. I am a Christian, but you may not be a Christian. But you might want to reconsider that for a myriad of reasons. If it's just what we call in the church crowds fire insurance, because I don't think you want to go to the lake of fire for the rest of your eternity. I always say that I view life as basically a great meal, and I'm looking forward to dessert because I'm going north. I ain't going south. But anyway, I'm going to go into this a little bit because it's I believe it's very critical for your walk to goodness. Pray and or meditate. Praying to a higher power or meditating can help cultivate the qualities you seek to embody. Meditation and prayer, well, really, to me, prayer is all about focusing. Prayer is focus. So anyway, let's see where I stopped. Prayer can help you find inner peace and focus on your inner self. As you increase your self-awareness, you understand what you really want and find clarity in your life. As you gain inner peace, you feel more positive, which helps you become a better person. Oh, that's good stuff. Find a private, safe place, free from distractions. Sit in a comfortable position. Clear your mind of all thoughts and take a few deep, slow breaths. Observe the thoughts in your head. Don't feel or react, just observe. In your focus breaks, just count to 10. Meditate until you feel cleansed and rejuvenated. That's good stuff. Going on to the next point, number 7. Make small changes. No one can change immediately, but even small changes can make an enormous positive effect. Set small goals every month or two and focus on 1 or 2 key habits in which you want to change. For example, for goal number 1, listen to others without interrupting. I'm going to say that again. That's big. Listen to others without interrupting at all, either verbally or in any other way. Think of how annoying it can be for you when another person begins to move the lips if they are without to intervene. A lot of people, it seems to me, it is happening more and more in society where people will talk over one another, and that is so disrespectful in so many regards. If you are somebody that you ever catch yourself talking over someone, I would suggest you need to change your ways. So, moving on. Goal 2. I will do my best to think of what things would make another person happy. This could be sharing your food or drink with others when they are hungry or thirsty. Letting someone else sit where you want to sit or something else. Next point. Review your goals every day. Start your mission to become a good person. Make and read a list of your ideals every day. Make it a part of you and follow the guidelines. Add some of your own steps as well. Next point. Try to look at the bright side of things. One of my promos used to be on the radio station, do you see the glass is half full or half empty? And you probably heard that old adage, but I think there's a lot of truth to that. If you see it as half full, you're going to be a much positive person. If you see it as half empty, you're probably going to be a negative person. So, going to go into this one a little bit. Again, try to look at the bright side of things. Bring a positive attitude to every situation. Negativity only hurts yourself and others. If you are negative, it has an impact on the way you treat others. Our mentality can influence the achievements of our day. If something doesn't turn your way, try to change what you can. Smile, stay positive, and move on. The motto of Christopher, whoever says it's Christopher, I don't even know what it's referring to, but anyway, it is better to light a single candle than it is to curse the darkness, right? Amen to that. Be that light. When you see controversy, be the one who changes the subject. Suggest a solution. Don't state what you don't like, but ask everyone involved. And I'll be honest, one of my irritations is somebody that says something critical and then does not offer any solution to correct it. So if you have something critical to say about anything, I suggest before you even say it, have a solution to it. I believe you will be seen in a much more positive light if you have the solution to the problem. Next one. Do an act of charity for someone else. I so believe that. You'll emotionally get so much more out of volunteering and doing for others than you would ever guess if you've never done it. Try me. Try to do something nice for someone every day, even if it's something small. An act of kindness and generosity have a great influence. Smile, hold the door open for someone, pay it forward to the drive-through just to, I'm going to say that again because you might not have caught that. Pay it forward in the drive-through. Try to do something that to just make somebody else's day. So we are definitely running out of time, but I think I might try to start with this, stick with this new format. And I may just go ahead and put the political talking points on hold because not everybody likes to talk about politics. In fact, I know it can be very decisive. In fact, I'm gonna tell you a true story. last spring, I've had a friend slash mentor, a little bit older than me, that he's been my friend for many, many years, but I remember how strong of a Democrat he was. In fact, when Obama was running for election and re-election, he literally posted pro-Obama posters in his windows. And he reminded me in our phone conversation of last spring that he was playing for the other side because he knew I was a strong Republican. And to be honest, I literally walked away from that friendship because those were my values, and I realized his values didn't line up with my values. And it got to the point where I realized I had to make a decision. And I still question it to this day. He's a great guy, long-time friend. But to be honest, I still think I did the right thing. So looking forward to talking to you tomorrow. Hope you have a great day. Hope you feel empowered, and go out and smile. And as I always say, it's so beneficial for your health to take a walk. So if at all feasible, if the weather permits, take that walk, but use some type of sun protection. A ball cap, tourist hat would be better. Talk to you tomorrow. Have a great day.